what did you notice about the pace? What was the emotion? Conflicted? And what was the content? Yep, parts. So you hear that organizing, the acknowledging, you're conflicted, the organizing, the known and the unknown. Parts of next year that are known and unknown.
And then what did you notice about the goal?
Well, do you want to talk about how she nailed it?
Yes, we were noticing, Tina and I were talking, and one of the things that I noticed between the live model you guys just saw and then the model with Jane is that both times naming that emotion and the content went really fast. And they were signed off on, they were both signed off on the first go. And just noticing that I wouldn't want anyone to leave the room thinking that that's how it goes all the time, or to even have that as an expectation. Because really a lot of times when you look at someone and you tell them, so you're feeling blank. I mean, we're already, all of us, in a space where we're trying to undo the what I hear you say, right? We're putting that aside. But when you look at someone and tell them how they're feeling, a lot of times it's really helpful if it's right on track. And a lot of times when it's a little bit off, people have their own personal feelings about particular emotional words, right? And so there's a really good chance that the first or second emotion that you put out there, they're gonna sort of, I don't know that I really feel that way, you know? So just know that even though the live model was a quick sign off on the emotion and content, and that was, it's really, really common that that emotion isn't caught the first time.
And that comes out, and you're going to do a role pool practice this afternoon. It usually comes out with that when you're debriefing people like, oh, it's much harder to capture that emotion and content than I thought it was. So just a little heads up, because we don't want you to feel like you're a failure if you don't get that like the first time.
And we heard the emotion confident a lot. Is that a pretty common one?
That's the goal. Feel confident is it's a pretty, yeah. So what did you hear with the goals? What was the first one she gave?
Be clear.
Be clear. Think about that. Conflicted, be clear. 180. And it didn't work. She said, I do want to be clear, and she added more. What was the second one? Be prepared. And what was the third one?
Feel confident.
How do you know she didn't sign off on that second one and she did sign off on that third one? Melissa?
Yeah, Jane was pausing and Monica was adding more each time.
So she did say after that second one, you want to feel prepared. She did say yes.
Yeah.
And Jane could tell, not quite. Yeah. And so she paused. And this is where we talked about earlier, where generally when you pause, they're going to add more. So Jane just paused, knowing that wasn't strong enough. And then she added more. What about that third one?
Everything changed. Yeah.
Say yes, yes, over and over again.
She said yes after the second one, but it was a different yes after
Right,
the third
it
one,
was,
wasn't
the
it?
third one, it was, you saw her face and then her like, just
Whole body.
cognitive.
Her eyes were really different from the beginning, where at the first goal she like stuttered and she was looking up and she really wasn't sure. At the third goal she like closed her eyes really hard and her whole head nodded with it.
So we're just going to watch that last part again, and that head nod is the big thing. That's the big sign off that you knew. Big chin goes down. So just watch the subtle difference between 2 and 3.
That before I make a decision.
Okay.
I know that after I make a decision, I'll know what I would be doing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to look back in retrospect and say, oh, I should have taken this other option instead
Okay.
after the grant.
So what you want is to feel prepared to make a good decision.
Yes, yeah. I want to make sure that the decision I make is the right one for me.
Okay. So you want to feel confident that the decision you make is the best one
Mhm.
for you.
See that difference in that
And you're
chin?
looking for a way to make that happen.
Yes.
So when Jane talks about this, and it's so slight, prepared versus feel confident, it goes back to that field dependent, field independent. Feel prepared is a field independent goal. It's a very like, the kind of steps, detail oriented, whereas feel confident is more of a field dependent, where it's larger. Do not let this set you over the edge. I know a lot of you are like, what? I gotta remember that too right now? That, we're just pointing that out because that is the slight difference that might make where someone says yes. Because it just seems feel prepared to make or feel confident. It just seems so slight. And that is why she may have signed off on one and not the other.
So you guys are gonna have a chance to do some practice with this, with a partner. And even later, we're gonna do another practice in groups of 4. And in order to do that, it's really gonna help if you have some areas that you're a little bit stuck on, that you're ready to share, the way that Juliet came and shared something. And sometimes it's hard in the moment to think of something real quick that you're stuck with. So because of that, you're gonna have a chance to spend a little bit of time journaling and just write down a few areas, a few different topics of stuckness. This isn't your greatest issue right now, the biggest thing that you're really stuck on. It's just something that you're a little bit stuck with that you would feel very comfortable to share with a coach for your practice.
And because you're gonna have a couple practices, that's why you want a couple of them, because someone may pace you and then you're like, good, I'm good. And so then you need another one.